I think it's a benefit for the country to form the cabinet with a former minister to head the cabinet, and he knows most of the problematic issues and the problematic files which has been going through in the past few years. So I think this is very good. We will continue, the new cabinet will continue and build on the efforts which were exerted in the past, in line with the directives of the President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. It is generally perceived that the informal sector is the underground economy. Okay. So it survives without any documentations, and it is not a problem that is peculiar to developing countries. Even in the United States, even in developing countries, they have segments of business that work without proper documentation. Yeah. So the issue here, as I second what Dr. Khalid said, is to integrate the underground economy, which is absolutely, they are absolutely fine, but they are not just registers, they don't have the documentation. The issue is we need to integrate them into the formal economy so that the policy makers would be able to plan adequately and appropriately for the future. Without proper and comprehensive knowledge about the total integrated economy, the efforts of planning would be in vain. I believe that the government, the incoming government, has many changes to tackle. Probably it's the toughest, the most difficult era is to fix the issues post the revolutions. Yeah. We had a deteriorating economy since the year 2011, and even after the 30th June revolution, the situation wasn't really good. The inflation rate was very high, the foreign reserve was decreasing to a threatening extent, so the situation wasn't really good. And still, we are improving, definitely. We are improving. The inflation rate has come down from 35% in July last year to now 11.4. Okay, and we have a single foreign exchange market. We've tackled most of the critical issues ever since the beginning of the economic reform program in November 2016. But some of the issues yet to be tackled. The unemployment, 10.6, still a bit high. Yes, we need job creation in the market. We need projects in the private sector and the public sector to absorb the workforce and direct them to create more jobs. The deficit, the budget deficit is still a challenge yet. It was improved since last year, and for the first time we achieved 1.9 surplus in the budget. Yeah. But yet still it's high. Yes. The public debt is high. So all these issues need to be tackled. The government needs to rationalize expenses, the public expenses, same as the general public. We also, as individuals, we need to rationalize our expenses. And for the new patterns of spending, it's not just like the old good days, everybody would go and spend and enjoy the luxury. We are facing challenges. The luxury that we used to enjoy in the past years, we should actually hold on that. So unemployment is an issue, inflation and exchange, and keeping the exchange market, foreign exchange market in control is another challenge. The balance of payment, all these issues need to be tackled and keep our eyes wide open on these issues. One issue is that the average citizen would always say, well, you asked me to rationalize my expenses, but I don't see that the government do that. Okay, so
yeah, and this is something that they keep repeating, of course. Yes.
Actually, it's a challenge again in front of the new government, that the government needs to be more transparent about its efforts to rationalize the public spending. Okay, the public citizens, the average citizen, would like to see how much the government has rationalized each quarter, in order to convince that it's not only me that pay the price, it's the government as well. We all live in the tough times, and the government as well feels that it's a tough time and started to rationalize its expenses. The President Sisi has met with the incoming Prime Minister yesterday, and they discussed the priorities for the new cabinet is to increase the economic growth rate to 7% and to fix the problems of unemployment and the defaulting factories.
Yes.
Because all these issues would they actually correlate to each other. If we fix the problems of the defaulting factors, this would put or generate more jobs in the market,
of course,
and elevate or decrease the unemployment, definitely increasing the growth rate, the economic growth rate to 7% would tackle several issues. And as Dr. Khaled said in the beginning, if we are comparing the external debt to the GDP, it should always be linked to the GDP itself. So if we increase that, the percentage of the foreign debt, external debt to the GDP would fall down and remain in the acceptable range. So I think, yes, these are the issues that the new government would need. Of course, what Dr. Khaled said, he has tackled a very important issue that the young people will not benefit much from the initiative. Apart from the financial side, the finance, I see also the young entrepreneurs, they need technical assistance in setting up their startup businesses. So if they got the money without the knowledge and expertise to run the business, it is as if you are giving money and you don't expect a yield out of that. So I call on the competent authorities to extend technical assistance, education, even vocational training to the startups in order to enable them to manage their own projects. In fact, one of the most serious issues facing Egypt is the increasing population.
Yes.
A recent report revealed that the population of Egypt increased by 1 million in the last 7 months.
It's getting worse very fast.
Yes, and the fertility rate, unfortunately I don't have the figures right in front of me now, but the fertility rate for the Egyptian female is 3.5 as opposed to the planned target 2.1. Egypt since year 2011 the population increased 11 million. Could you imagine? 11 million is equaling the population of Greece. So every 6 years we are regenerating population, new countries. So what is the impact, the side effect? Okay. With the soaring number of populations, you need to spend more in education, infrastructure, on health, and services. So whatever improvement you make in the GDP won't be felt. It won't be felt at all. Because you need, according to Dr. Hala Said in her recent statement, you need triple the increase of the population rate to reflect on the GDP. So if you have...
how can you realize that, possibly?
Yes.
Can it be realized?
It can be realized. So if we are increasing at this very high rate, even if you achieve 7% economic growth rate, it won't be felt.
Yes.
Because the money you generate from the economy would be spent on the never-ending increase of population. So people always say that the increase in population is not too bad as you say or as you are claiming, because we have India is increasing, the rate of population increasing tremendously in India and in China. So, but the economy or the population or the average workers in China and in India, they have different patterns, they have different mentalities, they have different output.
Even in China, they had to curb
exactly the third rate. Child. Okay, in some provinces in China,
yes,
the third child is not entitled for subsidies.
Yes.
Okay, and even the second child won't get subsidies until the elapse of a gap between 3 to 5 years from having the first child.
Yes.
So they have some strict regulations regulating that, and they have actually good education system and vocational system to direct the education to the requirements of the employment market.
Definitely.
So not everybody graduating from school is guaranteed to have a job.
Of course.
So they target the segments of the populations and design vocational programs and training and education that is required for the market, the employment market. So in order to sum up, I would say that it is a rather serious issue in Egypt that has to be looked at very seriously. Although I'm a big fan for Facebook, like anybody else, I see that it has a devastating effect in spreading the rumors, tales, negative spirit among people, and it has always been misused in the last period.
Yes.
And everybody would just have a Facebook group or a Facebook page, would claim that he is the strategic expert and he is the financial expert, and just start analyzing in a very inaccurate and inefficient way the current situation and spreading and spreading the bad spirit, the negative spirit among people. Unfortunately, people would take these rumors
for granted, some of them,
for granted, and they start acting on that and spreading it. And unfortunately, in the last week, in the last few days, there are some negative hashtags about the hardship in Egypt following the cut of the fuel subsidies and some claims for civil commotions and riots and civil commotions. These bad things happen not just spontaneously, but I would say that the Brotherhood, the Muslim Brotherhood, and their allies, and some of
have handled that.
Yes, they have just stepped in.
Yes.
And fueled.
Well, they step in all the time.
Yes,
there's a way you're like, with the football team, with anything, with the subsidies, with anything that they can interfere with.
Yes,
them or others, who would like to just create havoc.
Sadly, the social media cannot be controlled.
Yeah.
Not in Egypt, it's elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, on the other hand, how to counter that? How to act on the other direction?
Yes.
It's for the government, for the media, to be more transparent and open and take very swift action to denounce or to clarify the issues about the reality about the rumors.
That
but
will counter them right
if you
away.
wait 3 to 4 days until an official, a state spokesman addresses the issue, it's in
that cuts it right away. Exactly when this, the issues that are from the responsible ministries, like they have declarations, it's put there, and then it answers those claims, the falsities.
But these actions must be spontaneous,
yes,
very quick. I expect that the new government would need to tackle the hot issues would be to be looked at as more listening to the voice of the average citizens. Because the average citizen needs to understand, I'm paying the price, I'm paying the bill.
Yeah. So
I need to understand
what
I'm expected to get.
Yes.
So, and I expect that the government as well should share, should take its share in paying the bill.